We're now going to look at some projects using the magical world of silhouettes. So I thought the most important thing would be to show you how to use the box frame dies. So you're going to get 3 of these dies in your shadow box frame, and as we were saying, between these 3 dies you can make 30 different size square box frames. Then you can make all your rectangular size box frames. So you can make dozens and dozens of boxes just from these 3 dies. Now this die will make your frame 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. This frame will make it 1 centimetre by a height of 1.5 centimetres, and this will give you depth of, still got your depth of 1 centimetre, but your height of your frame is going to be 2 centimetres. I'm going to use the smallest. I'm going to use the 1 centimetre one. I've got a piece of card folded in half. Now, the way you can get so many different sizes is you've got these notches down the side. Let me remember what size I'm doing, 5.5 inches. So it goes from 4 inches, 4.5, 5, all the way down to 8.5, and obviously at the bottom it's 9 inches. So I'm going to pop my die onto my cutting mat, and then I'm going to pop my card, and I'm going to go to the 5, that's 4, that's 5.5, and I'm going to go to those little notches directly after the 5.5. Hopefully you can see those. And I'm going to pop my card on there. Now I do need a piece of tape to hold it in place. What you can do, cut it full size, then mark it and trim it with your trimmer. But for speed, we're going to go 2 5.5 inch notches, and then we're just going to put some tape just there. Now we can put the mat on, and that will obviously only cut where it needs to. Now don't worry about the extra card sticking out the top. Just feed it through your die cutting machine and it just handles it as you need to. So once that's cut through, I can show you how you make these up. I need my bone folder again. So we've got that. Let's come in through, and this is through here. So this is really clever. They're really sturdy frames. So once we've got that there, we can then pop this, and there are my 2 frames. Now can you see it's even got all of the score lines, and it's those score lines that are key to getting this this frame square. Now I'm going to put those 2 to one side for a minute because I've actually got 2 that I've put tape on. So all you need to do is tape on that, the shortest of the long sides, if that makes sense. You've got 2 long sides, 2 short sides. So then the shortest of the 2 long sides, put your tape, and then just fold it round. Now I'm using 200 GSM black cardstock, and this is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't go any less than 200. I really wouldn't, but you can go 250, 300. If your die cutting machine does it, you could even get through 350. The stronger you've got your card, the more robust your frame is going to be. But this at 200, and I'm going to show you once it's put together, is really, really strong. So we can pop that around there. And all I've done is just fold them in the same direction. No mountains, no valleys, we're just going round and round. And you can see straight away, as soon as I fold it round, I've got my frame. So this, we take the tape off here, and what I tend to do is lie that down flat, fold that over, and then pop that on there. That will then just pop back up, and you've got the perfect square. Now you've got a mitre at one end and a square at the other. So don't put the 2 mitres together like I did the first time. You put a mitre to a square end, right? And that's how quick it is to make the frames. So what you want to do is get a piece of tape, and you'll put a piece of tape in there. You will then pop that one in like that, and I would put a little bit of wet glue on there, and that then you've got a right angle on the back, so make sure you've got the right angle on the back, and then you've got the perfect mitre on the front, and it joins up absolutely perfect. So what I would suggest you do two pieces. So I'd do that one, I'd repeat it, and then I'd stick together. And then what you get is this frame. Can you see? Just like that. And now I've got that frame. I made this in advance because I've used wet glue on the top there, so I just wanted a few minutes for that to dry. So can you see, look at that, that is really robust, and that's been made with 200 GSM cardstock. It's not going anywhere, it's really, really strong, and I've got perfect mitres at every corner. So what I've got now is I've got a card base, and this is some of we called it faded cardstock off the USB, and I'm just going to pop that frame onto there. So I've got a nice little border all the way around. Now when you come to the back, remember we had those right angle pieces. Make sure your tape goes over those, because that's going to give you extra strength and extra rigidity to your box. You know, it's definitely not going to start falling apart, because it can't, because it's so well taped. So these don't have to be used on cards. They can be used as standalone boxes. They can be used in home decor. Just think of all those beautiful florals that you've got that would look beautiful in a frame, and that's what you can do. But remember, you've got 30 sizes of square, and then you've got your rectangles. So I've now put that on there. So now this is the start to so many projects. So what I've then done is I've got the Enchanted Forest die, and I'm going to pop that on the front of my box frame. So I'm just basically using my box frame to raise up my project. So I'm going to put the glue onto my frame. We can come all the way down here, take it down just round the outside. Now with this frame, I've not used the outside die to cut it. I've just cut it into a piece of cardstock. So I cut my cardstock first to 5.5 inches, and then I cut the die into it. You can see the toadstools at the bottom. That shows you where the bottom is. So I've made the border, the edge border, all the way around the outside a little bit bigger. And can you see that now fits absolutely perfectly onto a 5.5 inch frame, because I cut my cardstock to 5.5 inches before I cut my frame into it. So then it's a case of decorating it up. So I've got some of my Enchanted frame, and I'm going to pop that around the outside. Now what I would suggest you do is cut out lots of different images and then just build them up. I've also cut out the unicorn, and look at that, I've given him the most gorgeous drop shadow. I always drop shadow to the left, but that's going to look absolutely beautiful. If you try it with and you try it without the drop shadow, you'll see what a difference it makes. Just try swapping this in with maybe the castle, maybe the princess and the paladin. It's entirely up to you. Oh, before that sticks down, I want to stick this tree in. Quick, it hadn't stuck. There we go. I can now stick the tree in. I missed that piece. There we go. Let's put a bit more glue on the horse, or the unicorn rather. We can pop that in there. Pull the tree up a bit. Oh, where's his tail gone? There we go. Popping that in there. Then I've got the flowers, again from the, this is from the Enchanted frame set. And again, I've done a drop shadow, so I've cut them out of a little piece of the waste card from that background, drop shadowed them with black, and then I put them onto my silver cardstock. Got that stuck. There we go. And I'm putting this down in this bottom corner. Now, sometimes it just takes a minute for glue to stick to mirror card, so that might just move for a minute. I'm going to pop that down in the bottom corner just to balance it all out. And then the final bit I've got is I've got my sentiment, have a magical day, and that's going to go onto there. Now, we've not had to worry about charisma. We've not had to worry about colouring. We can just match up with all of our solid colours, whether you do it in black. This would look beautiful done in your whites and your pinks and purples if it's for a little girl's bedroom. But how about that really pretty shadow card?